there's a message from a past version of you. You've grown, but it's almost like you're forgetting it. This is part 2 though, so I would highly recommend going to part 1 unless you want to be confused here, but I'd highly recommend to not be. So you're being called to celebrate yourself. Start working on knowing that you can't just hold yourself to this constant state. I was touching on base with hearing that your inner child is also entering the conversation, and they're sitting here telling me on some level really that you experienced, I'm trying to tap back into the energy because I got cut off there. You weren't celebrated very much growing up, where you got an award at school, you hit an accomplishment, you did something within something, and it was like, all right, cool, good job, next. And you've been trained to work in that sense, where celebrating yourself, giving yourself that treat, whatever it may be, feels taboo for you. You weren't taken out for ice cream, you weren't taken to amusement parks. I'm hearing even for some of you, your birthday wasn't even that much of a thing. And so celebrating yourself feels taboo, but you're blocking yourself from miracles, and you need to believe in the power of miracles for yourself. Stop telling yourself that you don't deserve this, because you do. And your words hold power. I'm being called actually to read the definition thing for focus. So let me find it. Card meaning: think about what you want, not what you don't want. Stop thinking in past you. You're like thinking about the past. I'm hearing a lot of relating to the past of, oh, I had that. Stop holding yourself in that energy. Let it go. Not in a sense of, oh, that didn't happen to you, but in a sense of, the more you think about it, the more you're feeling those experiences in your current present energy. But you've grown from that version. You are not that person anymore. Guard your thoughts carefully because they create your experiences. Quite literally, what you think is what is filling your energy. If you sit here and say, I don't deserve this, and you're subconsciously going to start manipulating people. And you're being called to stop sitting down and do that thing that you keep thinking about doing. There's something that you're being called to do, and maybe I'll touch base on that in another reading, but you're being called to do something. And I'm also hearing, I don't even need to do a reading about it. You know what it is, but you have the potentiality of being in the Nine of Wands where you have that efforts that you're doing, but right now you're kind of just sitting and not doing much on it. I'm going to read the full thing now. Sometimes it seems our thoughts choose us, but this is never the case. We always choose our thoughts every moment. Our thoughts always have an effect, and there's no neutral thoughts. 1/2 second before you hold a thought, you decide to hold it. So with practice, you can learn to monitor and alter your thoughts. This is the equivalent of putting your hands on the steering wheel of your life. You may believe that your concentration abilities are impaired, yet the infallible mind of God is within your own mind. You can experience remarkable effects of concentration by affirming, I am now able to focus my mind at will. I will hold only loving thoughts, and my angels act as my gatekeepers in establishing a steady stream of thoughts of love. When you sit here and hold negative thoughts about yourself, you're holding negative energy within yourself. But if you sit there and say, no, I deserve this, I worked hard for it, even if there's a version of me that doesn't truly know what it tastes like, doesn't know what it feels like, it's okay. You've worked to be in a life that you can't imagine. And especially if you're someone who works with law of attraction and manifestation, you literally can't imagine it. We can have an idea of what we're manifesting and trying to attract into ourselves, but when you work with abundance, you can't know. Because if you try to control what you know and control the outcomes and tell yourself you know what's going to be happening, you have to go into it not knowing the outcome. If you try to know the outcome before it happens, you're working with a limited mindset. You're working with that version of you that is calling and saying, hey, stop calling me. You keep calling me in the middle of the night. I'm trying to sleep. You put me to bed. You told me no more. I'm trying to sleep now, but you keep calling me. And they're saying stop calling. So, oh my gosh, what's that Lady Gaga song? Telephone. Just playing in my head right now. Alright, what are going to be some good values for you to hold on to right now? Teamwork. So I don't know what you're being called to work on, but I'm hearing that might be one of them. Work on some teamwork within yourself. Within yourself, within the way of opening up to it. I'm almost hearing hyper independence, and maybe that's part of the reason. Part of what you've grown away from is that you don't have to be alone through everything. You can be with other people, and you've worked yourself to being, quite literally, I didn't even look at the other card. Also, friendship. Teamwork and friendship. Yes, hyper independence. Stop saying that you have to do everything alone. You can open up to people. There can be people in your life, even if it turns out they don't stay in your life forever. Maybe those moments that you have, those individual conversations you have with that person are supposed to break you open up in a way that bring you to a point where you're not friends with them anymore. Who knows? Maybe you get closer. But you can't sit here and hold yourself to what if. Okay, what if? What if the opposite happens? You ever think about that? To be real? I'm gonna put one more. Dependability. You can depend on other people. You don't have to be hyper independent within yourself. And people can depend on you too, is also what I'm hearing to tell you. You are dependable. Other people are also dependable. But if you sit there and say they're not going to be, you're not going to be, well, I don't know what to tell you. What are you being called to work on next? Work with your guardian angels. Tap into to knowing that you are being divinely protected. You are divinely protected and you are being divinely guided. That is what I'm hearing. But also the protection, really. That's stronger right now, because look at this. We have the angel that's literally protecting the whole person just there, right? Even if you can't see this protection happening, as long as you are listening to your divine guidance, you are being divinely protected. And I can't... What are you being called to do? What are you being called? To accept yourself. You are being called to accept yourself. Let's go ahead and we'll pull some confirmation cards for... Ooh. We have Aries, Cancer, Gemini, Scorpio. This is Sun, Moon, Rising. Oops. Capricorn. This is your reading. I hope it helped, and I will catch you in the next one.